doesn't make sense, but I know that God has called me to ministry and God has placed this opportunity and opened this many doors to go into ministry, and so all I have to do is just trust in the Lord. My name is Caleb Choo. I'm the drummer for the band Rivers and Robots. Dad used to bring me around to music shops, and for some reason I was gravitated towards the drums. And at the age of 2, I just asked my dad, hey, can I learn drums? And I think he kind of saw that and kind of cultivated it. So he brought me my first kit at the age of 2.5. And being 2.5, I can barely reach anything, but I could kind of play like a small beat, just with that, try to go for classes, but I always got rejected because none of the teachers thought to teach me because I was too young. But then there was this one teacher who kind of took me on, and at the age of 9.5 years old, I finished my grade 8. I didn't know as well, but apparently at that time it was the Malaysian youngest to finish a professional drum course. Through that, I got a full scholarship to study in secondary school. And so that was really God's provision as well. And at the age of 13, I did my diploma as well. There's always the question of what do you want to become? What do you want to aspire to? Coming from an Asian culture and Asian background, music was, it wasn't as encouraged, or it wasn't, just for the reason that sometimes it's not stable income, or, there are many different things, but I always knew that music was something that was that I knew that I needed to do and for a living as a career. So one night I was in the midst of I was in secondary school, and I was just kind of praying, asking God hey God, what do you want me to do? And I vividly remember that there was this one night I was in my bed, I was just sleeping, and then it's in the middle of the night, I kind of just saw this really bright light, and at first I thought it was a star. And so I just kind of used my pillow and try to cover off the light and stuff. Whatever I do, the light was just shine through, and I was just at the point I got frustrated. So I kind of just put my pillow down and kind of just stare at the light, and then I kind of just heard a very clear sign, you need to pursue music and you need to pursue drumming. It was just 2 sentences, but it was really just quiet and calm voice, and it just gone. There was no light, no nothing, and then it was just pitch black. And then I just went back to sleep, and then the next morning I kind of woke up, and I was I clearly remember that, and I knew that was, God kind of appearing to me and telling me that, hey, you need to do music. My next thought was to apply for music college. I tried the UK and search up music conservatoires and stuff in the UK. I didn't know much about the UK, and then this school, Royal Northern College of Music, came out, and I saw they did the pop course, so I kind of just applied. I sent in my audition through a DVD. And really never heard anything back from them. And till New Year's Day, I just received this letter in my postbox. It said that I got my offer to go into RNCM. Moving from Asia to the UK is quite expensive, so we kind of just spoke. I kind of just spoke to the head of school and kind of asked hey, can you help me out financially? And he was okay, I'll see what I can do. And through God's provision, he managed to give me a scholarship for 4 years, which is kind of unheard of being an international student. So during this 2 years, I've tried to start bands with my course mates, try to write music, try to be as involved as in many projects as possible. I think at one point I was in 5 bands at the same time doing different music. We were taught in RNCM to always say yes to everything, so I kind of just took that on, say yes to everything. Nothing really was properly serious, and I was just kind of asking God hey God, what's going on? I'm halfway through the course, nothing really happening or taking off. Maybe a week or 2 weeks later, I got this message from Jonathan, really, and he kind of just messaged, hey, I'm from this band, Rebels and Robots. We're looking for a drummer. Your name got recommended. And yeah, do you want to grab coffee and jam? I was like, yeah, for sure. You know, carrying that RNCM mentality of say yes to everything. Had like another jam session, another coffee session. And then I think within like a week or two, he kind of just asked me, he just sent me a text like, hey, really like you, and would you want to come on board? Like be a permanent member of Rebels and Robots. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, yeah, let's do it. It kind of, you know, I didn't really know much about ministry life or being a Christian band. All I did was like, you know, I have an opportunity, so just say yes. I really didn't think too much about it. Yeah, and then that was the start of it really. Yeah, and then, you know, Jonathan and Nathan were telling me about Set Sail and what that is like, what ministry is like, about Gather. I think for me, being in ministry, it was a very, kind of like a very slow process to arriving at this point. But it was more like, you know, I was always battling with like ministry and pop side of things. So like, you know, being in the pop professional music industry, you know, your goal is to work your way up basically and earn as much as you can. And yeah, just basically like it's all about me. Whereas ministry was more about laying down what you have and really serving community regardless of your skills, regardless of your knowledge. And you know, it's like, you know, very servant hearted. In my 4th year, we were supposed to do this thing called professional engagement, which is we got a semester off to be able to do professional experiences outside of college. I kind of decided, hey, I kind of want to do Rebels and Robots and Set Sail as my professional engagement because, you know, we had loads of like tours coming up. We were about to release this discovery, and also for me, I just wanted to see what it would be like being in full-time ministry and being in a Christian band. So I did that ministry for good 4 or 5 months and really loved it. So I graduated RNCM with a first class degree, which is amazing, and we thank God for all that He has given and helped me through. Yeah, the next thing that for me would be, I kind of chose to go into full-time ministry. And I think for me, it seemed like a hard choice from the outside, but to me, it was just very natural thing. And I think while on tour for the past few tours that we did, God was always challenging me with something like this. And I remember, like, I think in the tour van of when we were in East Coast, I remember He just kind of said like, are you willing to give up, or are you willing to lay down your all these things that you could have in the pop world and, you know, your career in the pop side of things, and do ministry and serve God.
Wake me up from my slumber, God. Fill my heart with your fire, God. 'Cause I wanna burn.
Before I left Malaysia to come to Manchester, I was given a verse by one of my cell group leaders, and it was Proverbs 3:5-6, which is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all your ways submit to Him and He'll make your path straight. And for me, like, I always thought like the first line was always like the strong point, like trust in the Lord. That always got me. But I think as I grew on and throughout my journey in RNCM and as I'm growing up, I think the thing that was more stuck onto me is lean not on your own understanding. Graduating from RNCM and doing professional stuff and all this kind of thing, it only makes sense to go into the pop world and to, you know, go down, you know, that professional route. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to just go into ministry. But then that was where this verse is so applicable, is trust in the Lord, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. I know that God has called me to ministry and God has placed this opportunity and opened this many doors to go into ministry, and so all I have to do is just trust in the Lord. So thank you so much for watching the video. As you know, this month we're running a fundraiser. So thank you so much to those who have given. We're currently on £138 in regular giving. So if this is something that you'd be interested in and you'd like to partner with us, head over to our website at timetocenter.com/support, and we'll see you next week for another video.